Have you ever wondered how to move your data to the cloud safely and efficiently? Well, you're not alone. The process of data migration, the act of moving data from one location to another, is a crucial task that many businesses and individuals grapple with. It's a journey that can seem daunting, but with the right knowledge and tools, it can be a smooth and rewarding process. In today's digital world, data is not just a collection of ones and zeros. It's a valuable asset, a foundation for decision-making, and for many, the lifeblood of their operations. That's why it's so important to get data migration right. Over the next few scenes, we'll be delving into the what, why, and how of data migration. We'll discuss the key steps, best practices, and things to watch out for. So buckle up as we unlock the secrets of successful data migration to the cloud. You might be asking yourself, why migrate to the cloud? Well, the advantages are manifold. First up, scalability. The cloud's flexible nature allows you to scale your storage needs up or down according to your business demands. No more buying expensive hardware for just-in-case scenarios. Next, cost efficiency. Pay only for what you use and reduce the expenditure on IT, infrastructure, maintenance, and energy costs. Then comes accessibility. Your data is available anytime, from anywhere, allowing your team to collaborate effectively, no matter where they are. Let's not forget security. With the cloud's robust security measures, your data is protected against threats. Plus, in case of disasters, the cloud offers reliable recovery solutions, ensuring your business continuity remains unaffected. So, you see, migrating to the cloud isn't just about storing data, it's about transforming the way you do business, improving efficiency, and driving innovation. With such compelling benefits, the question then becomes, how do we do it? The first step in any successful data migration is setting clear goals. This is not just about moving data from point A to point B, it's about achieving a purpose, a direction. Ask yourself, why are you migrating to the cloud? Is it to improve performance, to save costs, or to enhance security? Maybe it's for all these reasons and more. Each objective will shape your migration strategy differently. For instance, if cost savings is a priority, you'll want to optimize your cloud storage use, perhaps by eliminating redundant or outdated data. If performance is key, you'll need to consider how the cloud can provide faster, more efficient access to your data. And if security is paramount, you'll focus on encryption, access controls, and regulatory compliance. By defining your objectives clearly, you'll have a roadmap to guide your decisions and measure your success. With clear goals in mind, it's time to assess your data. Now comes the task of assessing your current data. This step is all about getting intimate with the information you're working with. It's akin to packing up for a big move. You wouldn't just throw everything into boxes without sorting through it first, would you? The same principle applies to data migration. Start by conducting a comprehensive inventory of your existing data assets. This process will involve cataloging all of your data, understanding where it's stored, and identifying its relevance to your operations. It's a bit like an archaeological dig, uncovering the layers of your data landscape to reveal what lies beneath. As you delve into this process, you'll need to identify the types of data you have. These can range from structured data, like databases, to unstructured data such as emails, documents, and multimedia files. Each type will have its own set of requirements when it comes to storage and access in the cloud. Next, consider the size of your data assets. The volume of data you're dealing with will greatly influence your migration strategy. For instance, a small business with a few gigabytes of data will have different needs and challenges compared to a large enterprise with petabytes of data. Perhaps most importantly, understand the importance of each data asset to your operations. Some data might be critical to daily operations, while other data may be less vital, but still important for compliance or archival purposes. This step will help you determine what data should move to the cloud and what should stay on premises. Remember, not all data is created equal, and not all of it needs to go to the cloud. The goal here is to streamline your data assets, making your migration as efficient and cost-effective as possible. Finally, be sure to document everything. This inventory will serve as a roadmap for your migration, helping you navigate the process and avoid any potential pitfalls. A clear understanding of your data assets sets the stage for choosing the right cloud provider. So, as we move forward, remember, knowing your data is the first step towards a successful cloud migration. Choosing the right cloud provider is a critical decision in your data migration journey. The provider you select will have a significant impact on the success of your migration, the security of your data, and the overall efficiency of your operations, Let's delve into some of the key factors you should consider when choosing a cloud provider. First up is reliability. You want a provider that guarantees high uptime and has a proven track record of consistent service. Downtime can cost businesses a lot, not just in terms of money, but in productivity and reputation as well. Next, consider the security measures in place. Does the provider offer robust encryption both at rest and in transit? What about firewalls, intrusion detection, and other security protocols? It's crucial to choose a provider that prioritizes security to protect your valuable data. Pricing is another important factor. Cloud providers typically offer a range of pricing models from pay-as-you-go to reserved instances. You'll want to thoroughly compare these models and select the one that aligns best with your budget and usage patterns. Finally, consider the services offered. Some providers excel in storage solutions, while others are known for their computing power or machine learning capabilities. Determine what services are most pertinent to your needs and choose a provider that excels in those areas. Now, you may be wondering, who are some of the major players in the cloud provider scene? Well, Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is the largest player, known for its extensive suite of services and global infrastructure. Microsoft Azure is another big name, offering deep integration with other Microsoft products. Google Cloud is also noteworthy, particularly for its machine learning and big data capabilities. There are also other providers like IBM Cloud and Oracle Cloud, each with their own unique strengths. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The best cloud provider for your data migration will depend on your unique needs and goals. So take your time, do your research, and make an informed decision. With the right provider chosen, it's time to classify and categorize your data. Classifying and categorizing your data is a crucial step in the migration process. You see, data is not just one big blob. It's a complex entity comprising various types, each with its unique characteristics and requirements. Let's start with understanding why we need to classify data. Classification involves identifying the nature of your data. Is it sensitive or public? Is it regulated by any specific laws? These are key questions you need to answer. Sensitive or regulated data requires additional security measures. For example, customer credit card information should be encrypted both in transit and at rest. By classifying your data, you can ensure that the right security measures are in place for the right data sets. Moving on to categorization, it's about organizing your data. This process enables you to define access controls and data management policies. For instance, you might want to restrict access to confidential financial data to a select group of users. Or you may need to implement a policy for regularly archiving old data to keep your active data pool manageable. Categorization also helps in optimizing storage. Different types of data have different storage needs. Some data may need to be frequently accessed, requiring high-performance storage, while other data may be rarely accessed and can be stored in cost-effective, lower-performance storage. And let's not forget about compliance. Certain types of data may need to be handled according to specific regulatory requirements. For instance, personal data of European Union citizens is subject to the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. Classifying and categorizing your data helps ensure you're meeting these requirements. In essence, data classification and categorization is about understanding your data, protecting it accordingly, and managing it efficiently. It's about making sure that every piece of data is treated with the respect it deserves and is put in its rightful place in the cloud. With your data classified and categorized, we can now create a detailed migration plan. A migration plan is the roadmap to your data migration success. This statement is more than just a catchy phrase. It's the guiding principle for the next step in our cloud migration journey. The creation of a detailed migration plan is a pivotal moment in your project. It's like setting out on a grand adventure. You wouldn't just hop in the car and start driving, would you? No, you'd map out your route, plan for rest stops, and consider potential roadblocks. Similarly, your migration plan should include timelines, milestones, and responsibilities. Start by outlining your timelines. When do you want to start the migration, and when do you need to finish? These are important questions to answer as they will dictate the pace of your migration. Ensure you allocate enough time to each stage of the process, from initial data assessment to final validation. Next, define your milestones. These are concrete goals that you want to achieve at specific stages of the migration. For instance, a milestone could be complete data categorization by the end of week 2. Milestones are not just markers of progress, but they also offer opportunities to reassess and adjust your plan if necessary. Now let's talk about responsibilities. Who will be in charge of what during the migration? Assigning clear roles and responsibilities helps to ensure that every task is accounted for and that everyone knows what they need to do. This can include everything from who's responsible for data backup to who will handle user training. But what about the unexpected? Well, that's where contingency measures come in. Despite the best planning, things can go wrong, servers can crash, data can get lost, and timelines can get delayed. Having contingency measures in place helps you navigate these challenges without derailing your entire project. In summary, a solid migration plan is akin to a well-drawn map. It guides you through the data migration process, helps you track your progress, and prepares you for potential pitfalls along the way. With a solid plan in place, let's discuss data transfer methods. There are several methods to transfer your data to the cloud. The first one that comes to mind is online data transfer. This method is typically the most straightforward, relying on your internet connection to move data directly to the cloud. The speed of the transfer depends on your bandwidth, data volume, and the service provider's network infrastructure. Online transfer is convenient, but keep in mind that large volumes of data might require substantial bandwidth and time. Next, we have offline data transfer. This method involves physically shipping data storage devices to your cloud provider. They then upload your data directly into their data centers. Offline data transfer can be a practical solution if you're dealing with an enormous amount of data or if your internet bandwidth is limited. However, it does come with its own set of challenges, such as the logistics of safely shipping your data and the potential for longer lead times. Then there's the hybrid approach. This method combines online and offline transfers to optimize the process based on your specific needs. For instance, you may choose to send the bulk of your data offline and then synchronize any remaining changes online. This approach allows you to balance speed, cost, and convenience based on your unique circumstances. When deciding between these methods, it's crucial to consider your specific needs and constraints. Assess your bandwidth, data volume, and tolerance for downtime. For some, an online transfer might be the best fit, while others might find an offline or hybrid approach more suitable. Also, remember that the method you choose will impact the timeline of your migration plan. For example, an online transfer might allow you to start accessing your data in the cloud more quickly, while an offline transfer might require more planning and lead time. Finally, regardless of the method you choose, it's important to ensure you have a robust plan in place for data validation and synchronization. This will help you maintain data integrity and consistency throughout the migration process. Remember, no matter the method, security and compliance should always be at the forefront. Security and compliance are critical aspects of any data migration. As we move our data to the cloud, we must ensure that it is not only secure, but also compliant with the necessary regulations. This involves encrypting our data both in transit while it's being moved and at rest when it's stored in the cloud. Encryption converts our data into a code preventing unauthorized access. Another crucial security measure is implementing access controls. These controls determine who can access our data and what they can do with it. This helps protect our data from both internal and external threats. Lastly, we must ensure compliance with relevant regulations. Whether it's the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in Europe, or the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, in the United States, we need to understand and meet these requirements to avoid penalties and protect our reputation. With security measures in place, it's time to test and validate your data. Testing and validation are the final steps before completing your migration. These steps, while often overlooked, are critical to ensuring a successful transition to the cloud. The purpose here is to confirm that your data has migrated accurately and securely, and that it functions as expected in the new environment. Think of it as a dress rehearsal before the actual performance. This is your opportunity to identify and address any issues before they become problems. The process involves checking data integrity, verifying access controls, and running functional tests. It's about making sure that all the pieces of the puzzle fit together perfectly. You need to ensure that your data is not only secure but also accessible and usable. There should be no disruptions to your operations and no surprises down the line. Once you've validated your data, it's time to train your users. User training is the final step in ensuring a successful data migration. Once you've migrated your data, it's essential that your team knows how to navigate this new cloud environment. This not only involves accessing the data, but also understanding how to work with it effectively. Think of it as learning a new language. Your team needs to become fluent in the language of the cloud, understanding the nuances of how data is stored, accessed, and manipulated in this new environment. This may involve learning new software or platforms, understanding new data structures, or even adjusting to new security protocols. Conduct workshops, provide resources, and offer ongoing support to ensure everyone is confident in using the new system. Remember, the more comfortable your team is with the cloud, the more effectively they can use it to drive your business forward. With user training complete, you're ready to reap the benefits of your successful data migration.